Hello everyone, welcome to Keystone Academia. So today we have the pre-scene analysis part 1 for November 2025 and February 2026 management case study exam. The company is Ressett. It is very fascinating industry because Ressett is a company which buys and sell electronic products. And the best part is we are not just selling new products, we also sell used products. So this is something you can compare to a company called Currys in the UK or Best Buy in the US. And nowadays we have a lot of marketplace like Amazon, eBay. There also this kind of business available, but they are focusing on almost every product. But these companies are actually limited to electronic products. So let's get started. So firstly, we look at the introduction or table of content for our pre-scene. So usually this pre-scene is made up of, as usual, it will have your introduction. We'll see after this page what introduction we have, what is your role and everything. Then personal computers, technically the types of computer and products we are selling. So computer, we have to see like a product here, the number of products we have. For example, personal computer might be there, laptop is there, tablet is there. Then when the company was set up, the structure and everything. So how usually CIMA design their pre-scene is first they give the introduction of your role, then after that the role of the business, then when we started, how we started, what is the structure of the company, what is our business model, how we are creating value for stakeholders. There are financial reports, how it works. And nowadays there is also a new concept of sustainability report or sustainability committee. So there is a lot of talk happening around the world on sustainability. So, this is one of the important tip as well for the exam. Then we have our financials, and obviously it will be compared to our competitors. We'll be having a separate video where we'll discuss on financials because that's the most important part of pre-scene. And towards the end, the pre-scene will end with the news reports, what is happening in the media, what people are talking about us, some FAQs about the companies. That is just to give an idea. So especially if you're writing the first case study exam, it's very important for us to understand what is the expectation from us or what is the mindset required. So that's what we can move into the next sheet. What is the right mindset? So in order to clear any case study exam, it's a role play. Especially for management case study, it is a finance manager. If you have done operational case study before, you'll know you're a finance officer. Now you have been promoted to finance manager. And once you clear this, then in the next attempt, you'll go for strategic case study where you'll do a role play of senior finance manager. So as per CIMA, the role of finance manager also is very much defined. That is also called I can statement, which is given in exam blueprint. We have broken it in detail in the later sections. So that is important because a lot of students, they come and write this exam and they think, okay, I just have to read the pre-scene, I'll go and write the exam. No, you should know what is your expectation as a finance manager. Maybe in the real world, you'll see the company or a smaller company, they have given a title as a finance manager, but this person is, just doing debit credit. That's not a finance manager. A finance manager or the term manager is usually referred to person who has leadership qualities, who has leadership responsibility. Not like anyone is manager. In fact, manager is a very loose term. So to ace this exam, role of finance manager is divided into 5 key skills which CIMA usually test across the level. First thing is people skill, how you deal with the people, team management, conflict management. This is all part of E2, project management. Everything is important. So they will definitely test you irrespective of the pre-scene, irrespective of the industry, irrespective of the variant you are getting, you'll have at least one question that is focusing on the people skill. So make sure how you can manage people. Usually they're asking questions related to negotiation, how you can manage conflict between one manager to another manager, or maybe manager to a senior manager, horizontal conflict, vertical conflict. Excuse me. Then business skill is obviously business acumen. This is more like an, entrepreneurial course. It's like enterprise management. So you have to show your business acumen. What is business acumen? In simple words, you have to find ways how you can create sales for the business, how you can improve sales, how you can, improve the revenue of the business and ultimately reduce cost to improve the bottom. There is no point we are, spending so much. Let's say we're spending 2x to get 1x of the sales, or we can take the examples. There have been a lot of companies who spend $100 to acquire one single customers and they get $50 of revenue. So these are startups. I'm just giving a fictional number. And these are startups, they think they'll burn cash now and eventually they'll become successful. That usually don't happen. And 95% of the startup fail. Why? Because they don't use the proper business acumen. So you have to show that business acumen. Then technical skill. Technical skill can be asked from IFRS, your financial reporting. It can be from P2 like budgeting, forecasting, NPU analysis, IRR analysis, maybe risk management also. We need to show that technical skill. Then leadership. So whenever we are taking any decision, let's say they have given you NPV analysis. Usually the best part is, not usually, every time you will not have any calculation. So leadership skill, you have to showcase decision. You cannot sit on the fence. Okay, you have given me the numbers. I think these are the advantages, these are disadvantages. Okay, that's fine. But until you say, according to me, we are doing this because of so, so, and so reason. So leadership is very, very important. Then the last is digital skill. Digital skill is very important in today's business. In fact, CIMA has added this in last couple of years, because being a finance professional, we need to be digital savvy. And in fact, we need to find ways how digitization can help our business to improve sales. For example, in this electronic business, we might be competing directly with Amazon or eBay, Flipkart. A lot of companies, or we have, I think, JD.com in China. It depends which country we are talking about. That is one thing, how we can do e-commerce, how we can improve our sales, or maybe digital strategies about, it can also be about cyber security, how we're using data, how we are maybe generating different source of revenue by having a digital skill. For example, we can use cookies and get some information, and the information which is not PII, personal identifiable information, we can sell to other parties and generate another revenue. So like this, we need to think like a business or a business lead. So you need to apply the knowledge of individual pillars, E2, P2, and F2, as we just discussed. Most of the students think, okay, this is just one paper. Because I've been exempted, I'm going to direct MCS. Or I've done OCS, now it is MCS. Especially nowadays, students are coming through FLP route. So they think like it's just one paper. No, don't be into that mindset. You have to know all these three pillars. Therefore, at Keystone, when you join, we make sure that we go through all the syllabus, each and every chapter. Obviously, we don't do a lot of calculations, because if it is not relevant, but we make sure we understand. We can read the calculation, we can analyze the calculation. So we make sure that we are going with the mindset of its 4 papers. You write one, but the 4 is the mindset, because 3 pillars are important. Without pillar, the building will collapse. So from now onwards, you are working for Ressett. Another thing is you have to do a role play. So from now, you can just think, if somebody asks you, you can say, I'm working for Ressett. And what does Ressett do? We sell resell computers, new and resell. Your exams will be typically based on the manager's role in the industry of electronic sales. So we need to make sure that we understand the industry. So I'll be coming with another video of industry analysis, where we'll be discussing about the top companies. What is industry analysis? Industry analysis is like, for example, we see what Currys is doing, what Best Buy is doing, what is their business model. Why bigger brands, you must find it funny, why bigger brands are interested to do reselling. You know why? One of the reason is the margin is high, because when the product is new, for example, recently iPhone 17 has been launched in September 2025. Do you think this Apple flagship store is getting a lot of margin if you're a franchisee owner or through third party? Maybe not. But if you compare this to reselling the previous iPhone, it's just about how you negotiate. You can get it at 50% of the price, and you can sell it at 60, 70, 80, 90 of the market price, whatever you can. So the margin is very, very high. That's the reason the companies are tempted to do resell. Plus, it's a win-win situation for the customer. They're getting discount, and also they can trust, rather than trusting somebody on eBay, Amazon, or this e-commerce platform. They can trust the brand. They can give warranty. So in introduction, FEC, Ressett buys new and used personal computers and related products for resale to individuals. So technically we are buying and selling. So selling is one part of the business, but remember, if you buy good, especially second-hand product, if you buy at a good price, then only you can have a better margin. So we need very important negotiation skill. From this line itself, I'm thinking, okay, negotiation can be tested. Why? Because people skill is one of the important aspect of that. Corporate and public sector customers. So we are doing to individuals, we are doing to corporate, we are doing to public sectors. So the pricing for individual obviously will be a little higher, because it is one product. Corporate can be bulk. We have to give margin, better margin for them, or benefit for them. We have to give after sales service. We have to create relationship. So it's like B2C, B2B, and public sector is like B2G, business to government. So these are 3 different stakeholders. We need to break it down, the power and interest of each stakeholders, how we can deal with them, how we can negotiate with them, what are the contractual inadequacy that can happen. Okay, so we can even link this to particular IFRSs that can be useful. Like IFRS 15 is there, IAS 30, intangible asset is there, IFRS 10 is there. It buys, Ressett buys. So in fact, we can say we buy. When you're reading this, always think like a first person. So we buy this in bulk and resell at prices that are significantly cheaper than the price charged by conventional retailer for the latest brand new computer. So one of the advantage we are getting is we are buying in bulk and we are selling it individually. So we have a margin and we are passing on some of the margin to the end user. But one challenge here can be if you are doing for a brand which is not famous. Because now if you're selling cheaper means the brand value is already there. But imagine if you're doing for less famous brand, this might not work. You might have to go for Apple, Samsung, the companies which are very much famous in the market. Ressett is based in Lamland, a fictional country, but for the use case, we can think it's like a UK. Laminate currency is L dollar. You don't have calculation, but for comparison, it's good. Lamlandian company law requires companies to prepare their financial statements in accordance with IFRS. So we have listed few IFRS. Once we do our F2, that time we'll come up with more IFRS. Now we are into sales. We don't need to worry about the IFRSs which are linked to the manufacturing company. This is how you work smart. So you can omit 30, 40% of the revision. You can go through for knowledge, but when it comes to revision, you can focus on the core areas. You're a financial manager at Ressett's head office. Financial manager. What is the role of financial manager? This is very, very important. Many students don't know this. Remember, I just discussed about ICANN statement previously, the same thing. There are 5 roles according to CIMA. And this will be tested in almost every exam, irrespective of the business. If you have attempted before, you will know it. Evaluate opportunities to add value. How you can add value to the business. For example, firstly, we need to understand the business model. Then we can see, okay, one way of adding value is to improve after sales service. One way is to get more traffic on the website. One way is to improve goodwill. One way is to negotiate better with the clients. Think logically. Then implement senior management decision. So whatever senior management is, they are referring to the board of directors. If the board of directors have decided certain thing, let's say from Lamland, you are going to neighboring country C land or a B land. Now you have to see how you can get competitive advantage there. For example, if you want to see that, you look at the pestle analysis, political, economical, social, technological. What is the technological penetration? What is the intent accessibility? What is the economic condition? How much people are ready to spend? Are they ready to pay extra for the brand or they want to go for a cheaper option? So if you understand the market, you can implement the decision better. Then manage performance and cost to add value. Managing performance of your team is very important, or we can say number 4, major performance. It's very close. First, you have to manage the performance. Then also you have to measure. How you measure the performance? We can use like financial measures, non-financial measures, or balance scorecard is one of that. What is balance scorecard? It has different things like financial perspective, customer perspective, growth, learning perspective. So like this, we can focus on main areas. And managing performance, it can also be linked to project management. Project management is again an important topic that is being tested. How to start a project, how to set a project team, what are the introduction, growth, maturity, and decline of a project, how that works. Then manage internal and external stakeholders. Managing stakeholder is very important for people skill and leadership skill. Like we discussed, now we are into B2B, business to business, B2C, business to consumer, B2G, business to government. Your primary responsibilities are associated with management accounting, and you report to James Tan, the senior financial manager, who reports directly to finance director. So technically, your next position is senior finance manager when you'll be working with the board. But now you have to implement the strategies. So we have some points here. Ressett is a platform-centric business model that buys and sells electronic devices across Lamland. That is there. Then verification process. So this is just a fact. But now what is the challenge here? Verification process. Technically, when you sell this kind of product, what is the biggest thing? Let's say you meet somebody on the street, okay, and they say, I have an iPhone 70. Will you buy it? Let's say the person says, I'll give you for $500, 500 pounds. Will you buy? No. But you will go to the shop and pay 3 times and buy it. Why? Trust. But now imagine the same person is your friend, your family, someone you know. Will you buy it? Definitely you'll buy it. Because you're getting discount plus you have the trust. The biggest challenge here is creating trust. When you go into the new market also, this can be the challenge. So how is trust built in the value chain? Then cost and quality balance also we need to consider. Obviously, if you're selling, like a local model, the expectation of the client is not that much. But if you sell a brand, you should have a quality. Otherwise, you should give after sales service. It's funny how human mind works. For example, if you buy something for $10 and if you buy something for $1,000, your expectation of that product is different. If the $10 thing goes bad in a month, you might not feel that bad. But if it's $1,000 or $10,000, it might be wrong. Then we have to see like head office versus divisional office, how it works, that autonomy or the control and everything, responsibility, accounting, standard setting. These are some of the areas we can see in detail. Now, if we go to the next part, that is understanding the product line. So this is, this might be basic, the product line, desktop, computer, but it's all about our product. So we should know it in and out. For example, I'll give you a funny thing about this industry. First, we'll see what are the products. Desktop computers. What is a desktop computer? What we usually use? A modular, high performance, something which is, at one place. It's reliable, it's customized. Second is laptop. The primary difference is why it's called laptop, because you can put in the lap and it has a mobile thing because mobility is there. You can always, carry it with you. It's easier to manage. Then tablet is again extension of laptop, which is very small. In classroom, it can be used, it can carry it lightweight. It can be used for reading purposes, even some basic games. Nowadays, tablets is very common with kids. Then peripherals. Peripherals are external input, output, and storage devices, ranging from precision tool like mice, keyboard, advanced audiovisual, data interfaces, or we can even say like printers. Nowadays, again, the use of that thing is going down, that we need to understand. People don't use printers so much now. They're just sending soft copy. Consumables. These are expandable components essential for device operation and upkeep, such as printer ink, paper, batteries, and cleaning kits, impacting cost efficiency and workflow continuity. So this thing is required for maintenance. So this can be also very famous. There is one case study for HP where they sell the printer for cheap and they were charging premium on the ink, and this is how they make profit. So it was very famous case study you can look on. Yeah, what other example I was saying why this product is important? Because mostly the companies who are doing this business now, I have seen lately they have started making their own product. Or maybe they are not making the product, somebody in China or Taiwan or any other country they are making, they're putting their brand. Instead of selling other products, they sell their own products also. So let's say the price of an Apple product is $1,000 or a Samsung product is $800. So they'll have a similar product, same feature, $500. So they can have better margin on this. This is also a new strategy that is happening in the industry. But that can also be a threat for us, or it can be an opportunity, how we can utilize it. So that's how we'll go, in the pre-scene line by line, we'll discuss, and simultaneously we'll try to solve the questions that can be asked. First, we'll identify the questions, then we'll try to solve it. It will be very interesting. So if you need more support or you want to join our full-fledged classes, you can always reach out to us at www.keystoneacademia.com, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Misbah Saudagar, and we'll take it from there. Or you just want to enjoy free content, you'll get some contents continuous. Thank you.